Welcome, Solara here. Happy New Year to those of you who celebrate the Solar New Year. Welcome 2023. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you celebrated in a style that is, befitting of who you are and your own personal taste. As I said in the last video, for some of you, you might have, gone out and socialized, and for some of you, you might have gone to bed. You do what you have to do in order to work with the energies of what's happening in your life right now. So anyway, I've been told to begin, been guided, I should say, to begin with the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. So let me take a moment to connect. Heard earthquake. I heard earthquake. And when I say earthquake, I don't know if it necessarily means, clear the air a little. I don't know if it necessarily means like in the physical earth. Get some clarity. I don't know if it necessarily means in the physical earth, but I've been getting this energy for the past few days that something is being unleashed out of like the inner, I don't know how to describe it. It's like out of the inner recesses of the earth, something that has been buried is being released, right? And when I say that, I mean like if you follow like the ascension energies and the solar flare and CME activity, then you'll know that it's been like gearing up, and every day it just becomes more and more kind of intense. And all of that is designed to break up the darkness. It's like the sun is flashing the earth with the light it needs to break free out of prisons of darkness and to break free out of the illusions that have been masking our realities on this plane for too long. And the message I've been getting is there's something being released in the earth that is very much tied to your divine truth and your divine legacy. There are gifts that how they're showing it to me is that they're like gifts that we receive from the heavens. But there are gifts on earth as it is in heaven. There are gifts that corroborate that on the earth plane. And I'm not talking about like the things of value that the things that we've been told are of value, right? I'm talking about like the ancient ancestral energies that have been hidden, that have been, the word I got was culled, that have been shut off. That word culled carries the word cull carries a 3333 frequency. There's something about the grid system. Let's put it this way. There's something about the grid system. In order to keep the earth at a lower frequency, in order to keep the earth from ascending into 5D, there were certain things that were done within the context of the Earth's grid system and the ley lines. And it cannot, let's put it this way, it cannot be done anymore. And as that occurs, what is happening is that a lot of our divine wisdom, our divine gifts, the things that were stolen and kept by certain, what's the word I want to use? Certain factions That's the word they wanted me to use. Certain factions. It's now being released back to us. And I keep on being like, even in yesterday's reading about, I forget what it was called, but it was that energy of like seeing the tip of the mountain, but not recognizing the fullness of who we are. Like, we've already begun to tap into our power, but it's nothing compared to what we actually have and what belongs to us and what we're capable of. And there's something that has shifted in the past, I want to say like the past 2 weeks, but really in the past like 3 days, that is releasing ancient wisdom and knowledge that is ours. If you're a divine being, it was yours. It comes through your divine lineage, and it's been used against you to keep you stuck, to keep the earth stuck. And now it's coming back into your hands. That's all I have right now. Like, I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know the method. That's what I have. That's what I have. If anyone else is feeling this, comment below. Let me know if, you know, any of your downloads, your messages are lining up with this too. Yeah. At the bottom of the deck, we have hostilities. We have hostilities. 26. That's a 2 and a 6. 2 is the High Priestess. 6 is the Lovers. And 8, of course, is Strength. This is the energy of someone in offensive mode. Not defensive. They're not defending something that belongs to them. They're in an offensive energy, wanting to take what doesn't belong to them. I'll show you what came out. What came out is strategy. We also have Angel of Balance. And then we have contract. The contracts, we talk a lot about karmic contracts closing, but we often just think about it on a personal or a familial level. But what we don't seem to delve into enough, or maybe recognize or realize, or maybe just acknowledge, is that the reason why many of these ancestral and karmic contracts and like individual family contracts, whatever karmic energies you've been closing out, the reason that they're coming to a close is also because the end of the age, it's also the closing out of certain contracts from that age to in the earth. It's deeper than just us. It's deeper than even just the planet Earth. And this is it, you know, these are the hostilities that are coming up, the offensive energy that's coming up because of the close of these contracts, because of a certain level of balance returning. But this Angel of Balance card, I always find her very interesting because she reminds me of the Temperance Angel, for one thing. She's holding some kind of elixir. It's a blue elixir. And then in the background, the moon is waxing, I believe. It's in her waxing phase, growing big from the right. So yeah, I think in her waxing phase, and she's right, the moon is right above the pyramids. So there's something that is coming into light. There's something that is brewing more. There is something that is being revealed more that can no longer be hidden. It's the message that I was giving in the beginning. There's something about, especially with these pyramids, it kept bringing me back to the pyramids yesterday too. Oh, here it is in this card. I didn't put it away yesterday, this deck. I kept it. Look, in the Star Ancestor card that came out yesterday again, there's something about this knowledge that has been kept, this wisdom that has been hidden until it was the right time for it to be able to enter the earth again. It was like there were certain energies that, yes, they were completely bamboozled, right? There's certain ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, ancient magic that has been taken away from those who originally held that wisdom, right? And it was taken and it was used for nefarious purposes. There is that part of the story. But there's another part of the story where there are certain things that not even they could touch. And it comes down to not even these nefarious energies, these so-called factions, couldn't touch it because it isn't, and they tried, don't get me wrong, they tried. But the reason they can't touch it is it's like something to do with the identification of the one who can use this energy. It can't just be given away. It can't be stolen. It can't be duped. Like, it's almost like on your, on your iPad or your phone, how you have Touch ID and how no one else's fingerprint is going to open that. No one else's fingerprint. And indeed, even if you chose to use your index finger and you try to come at it with your thumb or your ring finger, your third, or your pink, it's not going to open it. It wants the ring finger on your left hand. That's the only way it's going to fucking open for you unless you know the code, right? It's like this. It's like, if you don't have the codes, you don't get the stuff. And not only is it that you don't get it's very intricate here. It's almost like there are keepers of the codes, and we already know this as divine beings that we have certain codes, right? Everything in this earth plane is coded. But it's almost like these codes would not have been able to become accessible unless certain light beings, beings of light, divine beings, ascension beings, woke up to a certain level. There was no other way for it to be accessed. And like I said, this is what I'm saying to you again. It's not like these factions were unaware of this, but it's almost like they thought that if they could get you to wake up to a certain extent, that they could still dupe you and somehow use you and your energy and your identity and something about you to access this information that they haven't been able to access. And this information is very important for the new age. It's very important for bringing in the new age, but it's also very important for sweeping out entirely the old. And there's something about these factions believing that if they could somehow get a hold of this through the ones who had the codes, that they could somehow stop, or they could like elongate their contract. There was some kind of strategy here. And that hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So we have this hostilities energy, because it's almost like, here we go, the garden and the gate. It's like they thought if they could control, this is what it comes down again, because this age of Pisces, old world energy was all about controlling the narrative. It's like, if we can control the ascension process of this person, these people, these specific ascension beings who hold this elixir, wherever it might be, whether it's, in your energy field, it's a DNA activation, I won't go into too much of what it could be, but it's like, if we can control their ascension process, and when they wake up to a certain level, nab that, then we get access to this instead of them. We get access to this cornucopia energy. But there's something about 16, patience, but I'm not drawn to that. I'm drawn to this angel with like wings of fire holding a fucking clock. Like there's something about timing here. There's something about timing here. There's something about, there's something to do with solar plexus energy with this golden fire and the positioning of where she has it. This being I always find to be so interesting because this is kind of like one of the universal law keepers. And it's like they thought they could, these factions have used so many loopholes to get around to do what they thought was getting around universal law, right? That they really thought that they could like thoroughly break universal law and get away with it. And it's like they're beginning to realize now that just because certain things were allowed, and they were allowed, they didn't get away with anything. It was allowed. There was a time allotted for their fuckery. And that time has run out. But not only has that time run out, but it's like no matter what time it had occurred on a human clock, it wouldn't have mattered. 2021, I just saw it shift to 2022. There was something about last year this time. And then we have 22. There's something about last year this time. And certain divine beings waking up at a certain, it's like 2022 has been all about this energy of trying to control someone's ascension process in order to nab something that they thought would slow it down. And it didn't, it doesn't, it won't ever, it fucking can't. Because here we have the angel of strength. So here we have, and I'm hearing Archangel Ariel, and I don't even, Archangel Ariel, I haven't worked with Archangel Ariel, but I know in this deck, Archangel Ariel is over the sacral chakra. And I know that Archangel Ariel does carry that lion energy. And this is why I'm feeling this right now. And it's just like, either like you or whoever this is about, this divine, being, either it's like you've been like protected by these lion energies. There's something about this lion energy that like protects, that was woken up in you, that was woken up because of you. It's almost like they thought they could control the narrative around, because they're all about controlling narratives, right? Control the narrative around someone's ascension to get them to a certain point. And they thought that at that point they'd be able to go in and do what they wanted to do, but they didn't seem to recognize that at every level of ascension, divine beings unlock another level of protection. Do I need to say that again for the people in the back? For the peanut gallery, or for the ones who would want to, listen into this for the wrong reasons? On the ascension path, every time you level up, you reach an elevated level of protection. What the fuck do we think this is? Like they've made movies about this shit. Like the more treasure you unlock within yourself, which is actually part of the treasure of the earth, the more you unlock it, the more protection you gain, the more security you gain. With this lion energy, I cannot escape that this is also something to do with Lionsgate. And with the solar plexus energy, I also cannot escape that this is something to do with Lionsgate. I feel like I'm fucking Dr. Seuss right now. And even with this cornucopia, golden glow, I cannot escape that this may have something to do with the Lionsgate. I really do think, 5-5. 5-5. Attachment, an angel of strength. So fives in, and then we have blossoming abundance. Yeah. Let me calm down so I can get this message out. Five energy is Hierophant energy. It's all about leveling up. It's all about graduating. It's all about when masculine and feminine energies come into union in order to create a third energy. That would become the golden child energy. That's the Chariot energy. For certain divine beings who have this particular energy, access, codes, whatever you want to call it, this Lionsgate, this past Lionsgate in 2022, was actually, there's something that was very important. It's like they began this process at the end of 2021 because I looked at the time and it said 2021 and I was beginning to say something about 2021, then it flipped to 2022 and they were just like last year this time. But there was something about the end of 2021 moving into 2022 where something was like kicked into high gear. I don't know whether it was the control around the ascension process for you or whoever this might be, but there was something here that was kicked into high gear, and it was all in preparation for Lionsgate. It was all in preparation for Lionsgate because they thought that they could come in and put some kind of attachment to bind. You see how her hand is bound? Create illusions. You see how there's this mask, sending in masked individuals. Create some kind of illusion to dupe this person, you, or this person, of whatever it is that they had attained through the attention. Why attention? I meant ascension. All eyes on you. There were many eyes on this person, let's put it that way. Many eyes. And I'm thinking of that card in this other, I don't know if I have it in me to come and go through this deck to find the card. It came out the other day in another reading. Where is my whole deck? Could it be that it's still out here? Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my gosh, it is. Look at that. I didn't put these particular cards away. The whole deck isn't out. I was just thinking of this card just now. Fairy of the Divine Hand. And I was thinking about, because they said all eyes, all eyes. And they flashed this card before me. And this also looks like an owl, which is all about secret information, but it's also to do with divine feminine wisdom. But that eye energy can also be about trying to cause distortion. And that's kind of what I was getting to with that attachment energy. So it's almost like the method of trying to take these codes from this divine being or from you around Lionsgate was based upon this person not believing in the power of their own ascension. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like trying to dupe them into thinking that everything that they've been through, either that it wasn't real, or keeping them believing that they're still in chains. There's something here about disturbing their balance. With that 5-5 energy, that's the energy that comes in to bring change. But it's also an energy because wherever change comes in, like even if you think about it on a scientific level, for something to change, there has to be like some form of imbalance or chaos, right? In order for something to change. Otherwise, something just stays static and it doesn't change. And there's something about the Lion's Gate and trying to bring in some kind of instability in order to get this person to question how far they are on their own path. Because it's almost like they thought if we can get them in a lower vibration, a lower level of thinking, we've already activated in them what we want. We can just come in and take it. But guess who was here? Archangel Gabriel, 5th chakra, who protects the throat, which is the throne, which is your truth, which is your divine blueprint. So there's something about here. You see the colors, this color blue. You see how it's lit up in Gabriel's throat, and it's also what she's carrying. There's something here that you have, or whoever this reading is for, this divine being, there's something that they have that is under the protection of Archangel Gabriel. Maybe under the protection of Gabriel, or under the protection of the blue flame. Could be a blue ray. But these colors, this blue and this gold, is very prominent here, which is always to me about solar plexus and throat, which is connected to your, as I've been shown, is connected to your divine blueprint, which are like the instructions available to you for like what is cosmologically yours, what is etherically yours, what is spiritually your inheritance and your birthright. The instructions come through your ability to connect and to draw that energy in through your crown, which is the receiving of the message. The third eye is the processing of the message, the unscrambling of it, in order for it to enter the throat chakra, which then is your seat of truth. It's when you're able to begin to actually make sense of the blueprint so that you can put it into action, which then becomes your gold print, right? Because it's enacted by way of your solar plexus. The throat and the solar plexus are really important gateways. And this is where they've been trying to shut down in some way. And of course, the solar plexus is very much attached to the solar codes that are part of, they are part of the activations, not the only, but they are part of the activations that are received on the 8-8 portal. On the 8-8 portal or Lion's Gate, it's also Sirius energy. So it's a combination of Sirius and solar codes coming together. Sirius is connected to the color blue, and of course sun is gold. There's something, and when you put the yellow and the blue together, you get green, which of course is your Stargate. But Gabriel blew the trumpet on that one. I literally feel like Gabriel blew the trumpet. They said, look at his trumpet. Blew the trumpet on that one. They even may have sent somebody that the way that they were trying to attach to you. Why am I thinking 33? Because they gave me 3333 with that word call. Here we go with the door to romance. So they may have even tried to they may have sent, if you're single and this is your story, they may have tried to they may have sent somebody in to kind of like build some kind of romantic connection. Because I'm very drawn here to the heart in a cage. Very drawn to the heart, and so that this person was supposed to lure you into a cage. And the cage that they were supposed to lure you into was in order to keep your heart shut down. There's something about the activation of your heart through these codes that is important for the full, it's like the full manifestation of this energy through you. So it was almost like you got activated and you received the codes, but they didn't want the codes to activate your heart, because if your heart was activated, it would then become your reality. So this is why there was some kind of instability that was sent on your path, and they were trying to attach something. Yeah. They were trying to attach something to put an end to any kind of energy of harvest, because we have here, again, we have the 333, okay? Blossoming abundance and door to romance, and not for nothing. And then we have 3 again, it did come out with the garden and the gate. And then we actually have 2 master number cards that have come out. We have 11 and 22 that are out here. So the 333 energy is attached to Empress. It's all about your ability to create through your divine feminine energy, through your sacral chakra. Why am I thinking sacral again? Where was that coming out before? Did it come out in this reading? Did that message come out? Was it with the fairy of the divine hand? Anyway, this is something to do with the energy, like, it's almost like, and I'm not going to ever sit here and say I have all the answers or I know how this actually works itself out, but I will say that it's something like trying to connect to, it's like something about the activation and it being birthed by way of sacral chakra energy, but being actualized through the heart. So there was something about, why am I getting sacral energy? Why am I getting sacral energy? Where was I getting sacral energy? I mean, yes, the Empress energy and that womb energy, but there was another reason why I was getting sacral energy, and now I'm missing it. I'm missing it. But anyway, we do have Archangel Michael showing up. So if there was a person indeed who was trying to come in and to cause the imbalance that was needed for whatever attachment they wanted to put. And if it was romantic, it would make sense that they were trying to come in through the sacral, because that would have been a sexual energy, and that would have been that's the seat of your creation too. But either way, I feel like Michael shut it down. It's either that Archangel Michael shut it down, or that you are also, you were too rooted and grounded in your own energy to be shaken by whatever it was that they tried to send. It was like they tried to shake you to harvest you. Let me shake the apple tree and see if the apples fall. But the apples are not, for one thing, the apples weren't ready to fall. Numero uno. Numero dos, the apples don't belong to them, and the apple tree wasn't going to give it up to them because they didn't have the codes. Because there's something about the codes being, not only having the codes, but they have to be activated maybe specifically through your heart frequency. And maybe they didn't know this. I don't know. But either way, they didn't get what they wanted. And it's like the time has run out now. The time has run out. There was something about coming into the new year. Where's that card? The hostilities card. High Priestess and the Lovers, which were prominent energies for 2022. 2 and 6 were the main numbers of 2022. There was something that they were supposed to have closed out by yesterday. But they didn't. And with this hostilities card, whoever it is that was doing this, they're in a lot of trouble. And some of them are, I mean, it will play out physically, but more importantly, they are, and I say more importantly because this is where they've gone and bound themselves, and they've bound themselves in contracts that have lasting effects through incarnations. And through their own ability to ascend past certain timelines through, it slows down their own ascension. You see, there are some people who are on the path to ascension, and there are some who, because of what it is that they've been trying to do to those of us on the path to ascension, are on a fast track to descension. And that means that they're going to have a lot more karma to overcome in a lot longer time. If their desire is to ascend, they're going to have, they've added a lot of obstacles for themselves, let's put it that way. There's some kind of justice or balance that is being served on behalf of whoever this was that they were trying to take from. And again, in the last reading I did, this was this energy that was in the Hierophant of like it's a decree. Like a lot of these, a lot of you, or a lot of us, I should say, what we don't realize is that when all of this has been happening and it's been feeling like things have been going slow and nothing's moving, it's like things were moving for you in the astral planes, and just now like a flame shot off my candle that I have here. There were things occurring behind the scenes for you, just like this lion. You get what I'm saying? As you were unlocking higher levels on your ascension path, you were unlocking higher levels of protection, but you were also unlocking like rites of passage that had been locked to you before. And just because there were a lot of boogeymen that were trying to, you know, mask this and attach to you and try to pull you back down into older timelines and make you forget who you were again and all this other stuff, put you back to sleep as if that's possible. It doesn't change the fact that the reason why all of this energy was amping up was because you were making such fast progress. Even if in real time on this plane, it doesn't feel like it is. And I keep on getting this message, and I'm going to repeat it again. It really feels like some of you, many of you who are divinely aligned, who've been going through this, are about to enter a time where it seems like you just whoosh through timelines and obstacles that were on your path originally. That's partly to do with this Chariot energy of this year, but it's also to do with the fact that, like I said in the reading before this one, it's kind of like that Eight of Wands energy where things that have been being held back from you, things that have been being suppressed and repressed, it's like when the gate opens, it's going to be like a flood. And that's going to be for everyone now, this Eight of Wands energy. It's like that, it's going to help you to move forward, but that energy is also what's going to drown others in their stupidity. Yeah, you can drown in stupidity. You can drown in stupidity. I said what I said, you know, and that's what it is. It's like that chariot energy and tower energy. Sometimes you got to just say things, repeat them so it's clear. It's clear. You can drown in stupidity, and then you can devolve and descend. Especially if the throne you were sitting on wasn't yours to begin with and was falsified. So, yeah, that's the energy that we're in for 2023. It's the Chariot, moving forward swiftly with your divine legacy if you are in alignment. And as you move forward is how this is why for so many of you, as you've ascended faster, the attacks have come in thicker, because you're moving forward means that your ascending means the descension of others, because that's how the scales get balanced. And it's not necessarily a nice thing, but here's the truth. If these factions hadn't been trying to control other people's narratives and to play God and to steal things that weren't theirs, 2044 on my clock, steal things that weren't theirs to begin with, and then reward them to other people who weren't divinely and cosmologically qualified, if they weren't doing that to begin with, there would have never been this issue that we have now where the scales are so out of whack that they have to be balanced. So this isn't This is the contract that they strategized for. I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this reading was helpful and insightful. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. I always feel like when I'm giving these readings, like I'm all over the place because of how it's coming through and how I'm trying to deliver it. And most of the time when I go back, it seems to be okay. But let me know if the message is coming in clearly for you. And either way, I hope that it's brought confirmation to, you know, things that you're already being shown intuitively. And as such, I hope that it helps to increase your vitality and your confidence and your self-belief and trust in your own truth and divine path, because that's what I'm here to do. And yes, if it did, if it has, then please make sure to hit the like. Thank you to those of you who are new here. Thank you to those of you who are returning and who keep coming back. Thank you for your words of encouragement. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your likes. Thank you to those of you who choose to donate to the growth of this channel. I appreciate you all. I'm sending all of you who are in divine alignment and on the path of ascension. No, I'm sending everyone love. Everybody needs love. Even those on the path of descension, they might need the love even more. So I'm sending it out to all of you. Sending out love. I send you love, and I send you the peace that is needed for you to come back into balance, or to stay in balance, whatever it might be. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I will be back soon. Until next time, be well.